Welcome to Seconds, and this is all about showing you meals that you can do. It's been a day in 15 minutes or less in your very own kitchen, because I'm doing it in my very own kitchen. And today, I'm making just dinner for me and the fam. I'm doing crispy chicken thighs, kind of with a mustardy thing going on, and then old school, really good cream spinach, which is gonna be great. So you got the kind of crispy chicken thighs, cream spinach. Let's get into it. 15 minutes on the clock. Howard, are we rolling?
Rolling.
Every single time that timer goes, I'm just like, it's like a big, deep breath. All right, so I got chicken thighs, and it's funny because everyone I know, I don't know what happened, but everyone I know thinks chicken breasts are a bigger deal than chicken thighs or taste better. Totally wrong. Chicken thighs have way more fat, which means way more flavor. And because there's a bone in it and because of the extra fat, it actually stays juicier a lot easier. So I've got my pan on, I've got my chicken thighs here. And this is as simple as this. I know this is like chefy, but I like these. You can find really skinny tongs. You know, you get a chubby chef, skinny tongs, it's a good mix. So I'm just gonna kind of get my chicken thighs, skin side up. I've got some beautiful salt, just kosher salt. Always sprinkle from up top so the salt spreads. Right? If you're really close, you're only gonna get one spot. And then I've got some cracked black pepper. I want a lot on this dish because the pepper is actually gonna fall into the pan once I sear this chicken, and that's gonna make a really good kind of mustardy gravy that I'll show you. It's gonna be great. All right, so I've got some soy oil, which is the same thing as vegetable or canola oil. I'm gonna put that in the pan, good amount of it. And you don't need too much of it because the actual skin of the chicken is gonna release a lot of fat, kind of like bacon would, right? It renders out the fat. So I'm just gonna flip these real quick, do the other side, and I just do these with tongs so I'm not running back and forth from the actual sink, you know? It's just a lot easier. And you'll notice how much salt I'm using. I know you're probably like, God, that is a lot of salt. Honestly, when you have something kind of thick like a chicken thigh, there's no way to salt inside the chicken thigh, so you have to over-salt the outside. All right, chicken up. I never lay things towards me because oil splashes. That happened to me in the kitchen, and I went to the hospital, so always away. So towards you, actually. And then you can hear just that little sizzle, just that kiss of the pan. Come on, that's beautiful. So I'm gonna cook it most of the way on this skin side, really getting the skin nice and crispy, and then I'll revisit it like 90% of the way cooked, and I'll flip it and just kind of give it a little touch on the other end. All right, so chicken's good. I'm actually gonna move it over here. Howard, is that cool?
Yep.
All right. So chicken there. Awesome. Hopefully you guys are on the chicken thigh thing. Now, whenever I handle chicken, I'm just Jewish, neurotic, crazy. I gotta wash my hands. My wife one time made my sister a chicken kind of like tetrazzini, which is like a casserole. And this is such a bad story, but basically during the cooking of it, my wife tried it and she's like, yeah, I tried it, but it was still raw, so I put it back in. And I'm like, not a good sign. She was up all night, let's just say that. So I don't really try chicken dishes halfway through. I wait till they're cooked and then I give them a try. All right, so cream spinach. The cool thing about cream spinach, oh, I know, is I'm using frozen spinach. Okay, frozen spinach is kind of like chicken thighs. People think it's like this big thing. Oh, you shouldn't use frozen foods. I'm a chef, I've got a kid, I've got a wife, I gotta get food on in under 15 minutes. Using frozen food is totally fine. I wouldn't get like a frozen meal dinner, I don't do that. But like an ingredient like spinach, which is packed full of water, actually freezes really nice. And they pick it at its prime. So it's not a big deal. I'm gonna get a bigger pan. All right, so I'm gonna get a nice big pan, whack this on full heat. And this is Cascadian Farm frozen organic spinach. I love their peas, I love their carrots. Again, if it has a lot of water, I like to use it. So broccoli's nice, but what's cool about cream spinach is it doesn't really matter because it's gonna cook down anyway. So whether it's fresh or not, it's just a lot easier. So I'm just gonna open up the box. And with cream spinach, there's so many ways you can go. Look at that, it's nice and bright. Totally great. There's so many ways you can go with cream spinach to make it beautiful, sexy. Cream spinach is kind of like, I don't know, old school, I guess you would say. But I think you can make it new school. You just gotta kind of love it and give it a little bit of some vibe. So again, high heat. I've got some olive oil. I'm sorry, that's not olive oil, canola oil. And then I'm gonna grab some garlic. And with something like cream spinach, I want a lot of garlic. I wanna taste the garlic, you know? I'm gonna grab a knife. And then Howard, getting nice and close here. What I'm gonna do is just smash, smash. Whoop, that one went flying. Smash. I'll find that like under my kid's crib. God only knows how it got there. So I'm just gonna give this a nice little kind of cut through. A good trick is to add a little salt when you're chopping garlic. Can you see that, Howard? Yeah? And just kind of, it acts like little abrasives, like little knives that kind of get in there. So I'm gonna take that while the oil is still heating, I'm just gonna add it. And so as the oil heats up, so does the garlic, and it kind of infuses the oil. I'm gonna grab some chili flakes, like what you'd find at like the pizza restaurants, like, right? How are we doing? 9 minutes, we got time. We got time, baby, we got time, all the time in the world. So I've got these chili flakes, and again, they're like at the pizza restaurants. They're just the little chili, beautiful seeds, all the ends. That's gonna give a nice little punch to everything. That's looking really good. Now, I don't know if you make kale, if you cook any greens at home, when you see a green vegetable, I want you to instantly think nutmeg. Nutmeg, nutmeg, nutmeg. It makes green vegetables sing. It makes it so good. It gives it kind of like this round dessertiness to it. I know that seems weird, but it gives it a sweetness that's so nice. So I've got my nutmeg, I've got that. Oh, I want some onion. All right, red onion. How do you cut an onion without tearing up? Do you know, Howard?
No idea.
Okay, so here's how you cut an onion, period. What you do is take your knife and you cut the bottom off and the top off. Cool? These save, you can throw them in chicken stock in your garden. I cut it in half. Take out the first layer here. Cool. And then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna slice this really, really thin. But I'm gonna show you slowly, and then I'm gonna do it fast. So, you can see this. I'm gonna kind of follow the shape of the onion. So I'm gonna cut about here, and then my cool trick is, that no one really does, is when you get halfway, I just flip it over and keep going. Again, you don't need to go as fast as me. Take your time. Just make sure you have nice slices, okay? When you get fast, it's this side. Then you get halfway. Love it. Beautiful. All right. So, all of these right in with the garlic and all the chili. Can you see inside there, Howard? Looking really good. Cool. And then I'm gonna add my spinach. And just while I'm opening this up, check out the chicken for a sec. Do you see it? So see how it's kind of popping around the edges? That's a really good sign. That means the skin is starting to lose its water. Oh my God, I'm tearing up. And by the way, I just said, Howard, do you know how to not cry from an onion? And then I didn't tell you how to not cry from an onion. Here's how you not cry from an onion. Use a sharp knife, which I did and I'm still tearing up. So if that doesn't work, you can grab a little wet napkin and put it in your mouth. Like, no joke. You look ridiculous. But all the vapors from the onion actually go to the napkin before your eyes. They're attracted to wet things. That's why it goes to your eyes. So it's a good little trick, especially if you're cutting a lot for like an onion soup or something like that. All right, Cascadian spinach in, again, organic, delicious, nothing wrong with frozen spinach. I'm gonna just kind of stir that in, and we've got all that chili, all that garlic. Look at that, right? And a good trick when you have any frozen food, and maybe you don't have time to nuke it like I don't today, I just grab something. I'll grab a mug. And I always have boiling water. You guys know the drill. And I'm just gonna add about a cupful. And that will kind of just pierce everything, allow everything to kind of melt and do its thing. Look at that. You see that in there, Howard? That looks pretty damn good. So, when I think about cream spinach, I think I want like something a little bit round and spicy. So I think mustard is really, really nice. So I know I've got some Dijon mustard somewhere. Maybe not. I've been making a lot of sandwiches, but I have like dregs. Oh, you guys want to see a cool trick? This one is cool. So, can you see that, Howard? I'm almost out of this mustard. Watch this. I need cream in this dish. So, I'm gonna grab a little bit of cream, but this is really great when you're making a vinaigrette, and all you need is like a little hit of the mustard, but your mustard's almost gone. So take any liquid, pour it into the mustard, right? This is really good cream. And then lid on, shake it up, baby, shake it up! And it's just gonna clean up all of the actual mustard dregs from the sides, right? And now all that mustard, instead of trying to squeeze it out, look at this. You've kind of this mustardy cream. You can see the hue. How cool is that? And it's totally cleaned out. So, this is why we call it seconds, right? It's using the part that maybe you think of as an afterthought, but we're gonna keep it as a forward thought. Let's check out our chicken. Come over here. All right, I'm just gonna take one of these. It's getting close, man. I might even flip that. Look at that. Super crispy, really delicious. And you can see how much fat came out of this. We're gonna talk about that in a bit, but I'm gonna let that cook. Howard, you good?
Looks great.
Thanks, buddy. How much time we got?
Yeah.
Okay, 4 minutes, 14 seconds, that should work. I want this to get a little bit more boiling. So this is doing its thing. Now, there's a lot of spice going on here, and I am gonna add my nutmeg. So I'm gonna grab one of these. If you don't have a microplane, maybe you have like those box graters, and every time, man. Let's try another one. Actually, you know what? 20-second rule, it's fine. We live by that in seconds. So you take your nutmeg right over the top, and you can do this fresh, or you can buy nutmeg already good to go. But I really think nutmeg, if you don't have one of these microplanes, just use the side of your box grater, and it totally works. And again, nutmeg and greens, dude. Woo! So good. All right, so the spinach is spinaching. It's looking really nice. I might add just a little bit of limon. Do I have lemon left? See, this is why we call it seconds. I saved this. I don't know what I miss making. Something where I just needed to squeeze a lemon, but then I have this. And so instead of going and grabbing another lemon, I'm grabbing what I already have. Really important. So I'm gonna zest this lemon. The way I zest is I just strike it. I totally just got a little bit of my finger. I just strike it and then go to a new spot. You see that, Howard? Yeah, that's looking good. Can you make this, Howard?
I can do it.
You think so?
Yes.
Okay, good. So then when I squeeze a lemon, I always squeeze it in between my fingertips so you can catch the seeds, and just goes all over your shirt. This is just, you know what? This is weekday cooking. Don't worry about it. Like, you make a mess, the food's gonna taste better, I promise. This is looking nice and creamy. Really, really good. This is looking awesome. All right, I'm gonna grab a plate because we're getting close. You know, this is the thing. I mean, I want a different plate. Let's see. Something that shows the color. So, I mean, cooking for me is not just about a recipe, right? You should break that down. A recipe is a good inspiration, but use what you have. If you don't have cream spinach, go get some kale and cook that down, right? If you don't have kale, get some chard, right? Or use some broccoli. It doesn't matter. Just get something green and you can replace it with the same vibe. Don't have onions? Just do the garlic. Don't have chili? Forget about it and don't have it spicy. When it's a weekday meal, don't try and treat it so precious. Don't try and hold on to an idea. Roll with the punches, right? The more you roll with it, the better the food's gonna be. I've got 1 minute 34 seconds, so I'm gonna shut up. And here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna grab this. I'm gonna taste it. Need some salt. I can guarantee it. That's a pep. It's looking really good though. Nice and creamy. And you can see, I mean, like frozen, look how bright and fresh. It's looking really good. Delish. Want a little more salt. Sorry, I'm a chef. You can cut the salt if you need to. All right, Howard, follow me to the plate. So I've got this beautiful kind of cooked down, creamy spinach. It's really good. And it's, again, you can see there's a lot of liquid, so you can cook it a little bit more, or it's also like a little sauce, like a little mustardy sauce, which I absolutely love. So I'm gonna grab a little bit more. Kind of like a gravy. Looks great. I'm gonna grab my chicken. This looks unbelievable. And just, can you hear this? I mean, it is so crispy. I just want you guys to be able to see it. Unbelievable on both sides. I'm gonna get a fresh something because that is raw. I'm just gonna grab one thigh. Come to me! Right on top. And that, my friends, is an amazing meal in under 15 minutes. In fact, with 8 seconds to spare. Pretty rock star, creamed spinach, really crispy chicken thighs, lots of good mustard, a little chili hit. I hope you guys like it. I'll see you every single day. And if you want to watch more episodes, head to readyforseconds.com or to my Instagram @JoelGamoran. I'll see you there for more recipes like this.